big accusation towards the police as an armchair commentator, or commentator on Telebox, as it happens, is that when you get mugged, it'd be quite nice for the police to actually just at least listen to your report of the mugging. When that happened to me, I tried to phone and I was told to send an email, go and fill out this online form. I did. I've not heard anything back, which I think is pretty rubbish. But then it does strike me as well that when you look at the amount of bodies and hours being taken up by these pro-Palestine marches, they're having to line the streets of London every day to watch people parade by in their thousands carrying some pretty dubious signs. No wonder they're not answering my email saying some yobbo on a bike karate chopped my wrist to try and nick my phone.
No, and unfortunately, you echo the experience of millions of Britons who, in recent decades, have been burgled, had their car stolen, their phone, their bicycle, shopkeepers who thieves have just raided their shops with impunity, and the millions of people who've become victims of fraud. And what has policing done in the last 2 decades? It's turned its back on those victims.
Oh, yes.
It has not investigated those crimes. And it was through investigating those crimes that police officers had contact with victims and therefore had respect of the public. Because the police talk all the time about trust and confidence. Actually, what you want is public respect. You want criminals to hate you and the public to respect you. And when you went out there and tried to solve those crimes, even if you told people the likelihood of that could be slim, they respected you because at least you tried.
Well, yeah, I mean, what I would say is it seems to me now, when you see these kids going up and down the streets on their mountain bikes, targeting especially women walking by themselves, that this is essentially now been decriminalised. And the net effect on me personally, I've spoken to a lot of other women, we feel now that we can't walk down the street with our phones out in London. If you wanted to read a message, if you wanted to take a call, every time I get my phone out, and I usually walk home and like to have a natter, I now feel really... I don't know.
So they never called you back about getting your phone?
Nothing.
That's ridiculous.
But I genuinely feel now I can't walk down the streets in my own city on the phone.
What do you think about that they never got back in touch with us?
It's just appalling. They've given up on the public. They've turned their backs on us. And that's why they wonder why so many people dislike the police. If you ignore people and don't investigate their crimes, that's what you're going to get. And women get such a raw deal. Look at the lamentable conviction rates for rape, for example, and other serious sexual offences. It's absolutely scandalous. And I hear reports virtually every day of crimes committed against women, whether it be on the transport system, in the streets, wheresoever it may be. And when I say to them, did you report it? Sadly, they say, what's the point?
What's the point? I know, I've said this myself on multiple occasions. Life in this country as a woman's getting, in this city, is getting rubbish.
It ain't great for a bloke,
Rubbish.
but I think you do get a worse deal. I really accept that. Now, here's an area where the police might be doing their job. These are sort of shocking new statistics that we have exclusively here at TalkTV. These are arrests for serious terrorist offence, not just people holding banners in hate marches. The number of... there were 219 people of all ages arrested last year, and involved in these figures were the shocking fact that teenagers, 42 children, were arrested for serious terrorist activities last year, the highest on record, and the total number of people in custody is up just over a third. 65% of terrorists arrested or alleged terrorists were Islamist extremists, 25% were right-wing extremists, which just goes to show when the police told us solemnly, or was it a couple of years ago, the biggest threat to Britain are right-wing extremists. It's not true. We already knew that. But your thoughts on the fact 42 kids were arrested for serious terrorist effects?
Yes, deeply concerning, yet every day that passes by when we do not have a terrorist attack in this country is great testimony to the courage, resilience, bravery and abilities of our security services and counter-terrorism police. They really do a fantastic job. They're not going to stop every plot, therefore occasional attacks will happen, but they do a magnificent job and we owe them, as a nation, a great debt. But these figures are deeply concerning. an increase in the arrests per se and an increase in the arrests of children. The clear message to the government is keep our security services and keep our counter-terrorism police suitably resourced. Make sure they've got the money. Make sure they've got enough boots on the ground and enough people at keyboards to keep us in the nation safe.